peeps, welcome back. We are talking the Real Housewives of Orange County, season 18, episode 5. Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks. All right, let's get into this episode. Wasn't this episode just full of craziness? These women are out of their damn minds. You can tell that so many of them are actually trying to produce. They are pulling out all the tricks to hold on to their oranges. This is just a crazy season, but I have to admit I am entertained. Oh my goodness. So this episode starts off with Heather and Terry. She tells Terry about Katie and how Katie brought up the paparazzi thing again. And I just love Terry for always supporting his wife. He says, what? Not the paparazzi thing again. He said, well, I love it when the paparazzi takes pictures of me. He said, call Katie and see if you can get the number. So, in the future, he can reach out, to get his picture taken by the paparazzi on a regular basis. I thought that was hilarious, and I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what he said. Heather is upset with Gina, and she wants to know why Gina allowed Katie to come at her like that. Why Gina didn't tell Katie to, pump the brakes. So she invites Gina and Jen over for a little girls' day, a little Galentine's, to pamper herself and the girls. And Gina comes in and she clearly, understood the assignment. She didn't have any makeup on. Heather didn't have her makeup on, but Jen had a full face of glam, but she still put that mask on. And I said, well, what? And not me, girl. If I've already got a full face of glam, I'm not putting that mask on. We could have this conversation while I look at you in your mask. But, no ma'am. Anyway, she went along with the group and put on her mask. Gina goes ahead and brings up the whole incident with Katie because she knew that Heather had already mentioned that she wanted to talk about it. And I think Gina was trying to get ahead of the situation. However, Heather was extremely angry with Gina, and I don't really blame her. But at the same time, Gina's not in charge of Katie. Katie is a grown woman who took that chance. She absolutely thought about it. She considered it. She focused on it and decided to go for it at her own risk. I don't think that Heather should be too mad at Gina. If I had just met somebody and she and I were becoming friends and she was coming into my friend group, which I say that Heather is my friend and she's important to me, as soon as she came at me with this information, the first thing I would have done was said, how does that affect you? How is that important? Is this something that you want to bring to the rest of the group and possibly be looked at as, ridiculous and clowned? Do you want to be in the bullseye of Heather Dubrow? Is this that serious? And then I would have told Heather, hey girl, just so you know, the new girl Katie is going to bring up this paparazzi situation. As your friend, this is what I know. I've asked her not to do it. Now, do I think that all the girls should be so frightened of Heather? Absolutely not. No ma'am. No ma'am. But at the same time, I think that it's only fair for Gina to tell Katie, this is stupid. It makes no sense. Her calling the paparazzi is no different than any of the other celebrities that do it. And who gives a damn? You know what I mean? Move on from this. Shannon stops by over at Katie's house, and since it's Valentine's Day and Katie knows that Shannon is single, she tells Shannon that she is her Valentine, and she gives her a beautiful bouquet of flowers and I think some candy or some other kind of gift, and Shannon really loved it. I thought that was very sweet. Katie does mention that she's heard that Shannon was a Debbie Downer, but Shannon is not when she's around. And I said nobody else said that except for Tamra. Tamra has taken the opportunity to try to poison Katie against her by saying that she's this Debbie Downer. Shannon does tell Katie that her and Tamra are not okay. They need to have a conversation. She is not happy about Tamra going around talking crap about her behind her back. And I said, listen, Shannon, please. You have known Tamra for a very long time, and whether you are in a good place with her or a bad place with her, she's going to talk shit about you, because it's more important for her to get this paycheck, to be on this show, to be famous, to try to be relevant, to try to be seen. It's more important for her to feel like she is the queen than put any kind of consideration into you or anybody else. That's just how she is. And I'm really sad that it's taken Shannon this long to realize that Tamra doesn't care about anybody but herself. And I remember growing up as a kid, my mom used to tell me when I would do something that was, not so nice, she would look me in the eye, she would get down on my level, and she would say, "You know what, Pia? There's no fish worse than selfish." And she says, you should not be so selfish. And I learned a lesson as a small child. It's better to give, it's better to respect, it's better to try to understand than it is to focus on yourself all the time. And that's all that Tamra does. She is a grown woman, close to 60, if she's not already. Does not realize that, does not know how to be honest, loyal, kind, forgiving, sympathetic, empathetic, nothing. The woman is a monster. I am sick of this lady, and I'm so sad that originally I was so happy and amped up that she was coming back to the show. Why was I so excited about this? The woman is a menace. Anyway, this little text message that Jen has is so ridiculous. First of all, I could do that with anything. I could text one of my girlfriends a screenshot of something and it says, "Does Tamra Judge pay for the paparazzi?" And they could reply back, "Yes." I could change the contact name to any name that I wanted it to be and then send that off as proof. That's not a real receipt. Get the hell out of here with that. Do I think it's highly possible that Heather called the paparazzi? Most likely, probably. I don't know why the paparazzi would be stalking Heather Dubrow. But at the same time, who's to say that it wasn't just some paparazzi person that happened to be at Disney that day and then noticed Heather Dubrow and said, "Oh shit, isn't that one of the Real Housewives? I can make a few bucks," and snapped the pictures. It's also very possible that even though those pictures looked a little staged, that Terry and Heather saw the paparazzi person taking their pictures and decided to, pose. Who the hell knows? But why does it bother Katie so much? Why is it her business? How is this affecting her life at all? Except for the fact that she's decided to use this as a storyline. And I'm sorry, ma'am, there's more interesting things about you besides the fact that Heather probably, doesn't like you and, may have possibly called the paparazzi. Then she tried to flip the script and to say that Gina told her to say something. But that's not how that went. They showed a little flashback, but it was taken out of context. When Gina told her that she needed to tell Heather, this was after she had already told all the girls at that restaurant that they were at. Gina then pulled her to the side and said, "I told you not to do that." Then the next time we see her and Gina, this is when she was inviting her to her golf outing and she was bringing over those clothes. And Gina said, "You should not have done that. And you're going to have this conversation with Heather or I'm going to have to tell her." So it wasn't like Gina told her, "You should have this conversation with her right here in front of everybody," after you have already ran over and told Shannon. She ran over there to tell Shannon because she had already told all the other girls. And she thought that this was going to be a hit. This was going to be a thing. She was about to make her big splash. Girl, it fell and died on the vine. What the hell? So Emily and Tamra are together, and this little duo I am not a fan of. Anyway, of course, they wanted to spend their time talking shit because that's what Tamra does. Emily has clearly decided that Jen's misfortune is her storyline. Jen's misfortune is, what she's using this season. And, last season, she was all about what was happening with Shannon and Heather and John Jansen. That was her storyline. The season before that, it was the other Jen. Listen, Emily has zero going. zero going. She is just out here hanging on a limb, trying to figure out why in the hell is it that they keep giving her this orange, because she's not bringing anything but good hair and, gorgeousness. I'm sick of her. Anyway, she is hating on this lady terribly. What is she doing in Las Vegas when she doesn't have any money? She really hates to see women letting other people take care of them. But is this your business? How is Jen being in Las Vegas with Ryan, having a good time, affecting you? What does Ryan taking care of Jen have to do with you? At some point, didn't you allow Shane's parents to take care of the two of you while you were both taking the bar and getting reestablished? I mean, listen, I don't think that Jen is making the best decisions either. But here's my thing. If Emily really cares about her, if she is really concerned about this woman, why wouldn't you pull her to the side off camera and say, Jen, I'm sorry for everything you're going through. I realize that you have been used to living your life being supported by your family, then your husband, now Ryan. But don't you think it's time that you start to stand on your own 2 feet? And as a friend, I want to help you do that. I want to give you some advice or show you some different avenues that you can take. Try to help you come up with a plan that you can be self-sufficient, so that just in case this relationship with Ryan doesn't work, you will be able to take care of yourself and your children. Listen, Emily is not offering any kind of support like that. It's awful. It's deplorable. And Emily is treating Jen as if her old landlord has just sent an invoice over to Emily's house. Leave the woman the hell alone. I don't understand beating a woman while she's down. So Emily and Shane have their 15-year wedding anniversary. I don't really care much about Emily or Shane. They have a really nice dinner at looked like an upscale pizza place. I did love that he told her that he tells the kids all the time how lucky they are to have her as a mom, and that, how much she loves the kids. I thought that was really cute. And then she gave him that photo that she took, the boudoir photo, and she looked absolutely stunning. So I thought that it was really beautiful. He gave her a new wedding ring, and that thing was ginormous. It was ginormous. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it was a thoughtful present. He doesn't seem like the same Shane that we seen, years ago, who was a complete jackass. So it seems like he is making some changes. I think that him having that stroke or heart attack really scared the hell out of her. And I hope that he does start to do a little better with his eating. Maybe just take up walking. I don't think that he has to go to the gym and become some, Iron Man. But, a little bit of a healthier diet and some walking will do his heart good. So Gina meets up with Katie, and Katie felt abandoned by Gina, not backing her up in the situation with Heather. And, Gina's not here for the bullshit. Katie breaks down into tears. Gina says to her, "You are absolutely right. I am not going to be neutral. I told you not to bring this up, and you brought it up. This has gone too far. I'm not about to stand by you and back you up in this, because I don't think it's fair or right. I'm not going to lie and not be genuine about this." Gina tells her that she has been friends with Heather longer, and she has Heather's back, and Heather is her close friend, and she doesn't want to jeopardize her friendship with Heather. Katie is over here crying and carrying on. I said, please do not weaponize those tears. No, ma'am. Gina told you not to do it. You did it. Gina told you to talk to Heather. She didn't think you were going to do it in front of the whole group and cause a scene and then get embarrassed. That is not what she was asking you to do. And I don't think that you should ask her to stand behind your foolishness. Shannon meets up with her dad. And I have to say, I love seeing Shannon with her dad. And I was just staring at the TV watching her easy conversation, her easy flow with her dad, the jokes, the laughter, and I was so jealous. And I was just looking at the TV thinking I would give anything to have one more conversation with my dad, but I was really happy to see them together. And so I think that means that I'm healing from the loss of my dad, because I was happy for her that she could go to him and, tell him what's going on in her life. Shannon tells her dad that she has to get one of those breathalyzers put in her car. And I chuckled a little bit because I have a family member who years ago had to get one of those put in his car because he was a legitimate proven alcoholic. And it was just a worthless device because whenever he would be drunk and shouldn't be driving, he just had a friend blow into the device for him, and his friends were idiots and enablers, and they would blow into the device and he would still drive. And I said, maybe the technology has changed now and they will know that it's somebody else blowing into your car. I have no idea how that, I'm not a techie. Shit. Anyway, I think these things are good, but there's a way around it. Anyway, I am really sorry that this has come to this. I did notice that she did order sparkling water, and I said, well, that's good. At least she's not drinking here, with her dad. She did tell him that she does allow herself to have 2 drinks max, but most of the time she tries to cut back. And I said, well, that's really good. I personally think that the last 2, maybe 3 seasons, Shannon's drinking had gotten extremely out of control. I think it started after the divorce from David, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And then with this situation with the drinking and driving, as I've said in a previous video, I myself would have stopped drinking altogether. Just to clear my mind, clear my head, and to just move forward. And then if I wasn't able to quit drinking, that would be further proof that I was an alcoholic and that I needed to go to rehab. I'm glad that she's cut back. She's looking healthier. I cannot diagnose this lady as an alcoholic because I don't have those credentials. That is above my pay grade. But I do think that she was drinking heavily. It's good to see that she's cut back, but I think that if I was her or in her position, I would have stopped drinking totally, or at least try to, just to see, am I an alcoholic? Can I stop drinking? You know what I mean? But I am proud of where she is now. She did tell her dad that John Jansen was suing her for $75,000, and she said that she thought the money was a gift. She didn't think that it was a loan. She thought he was giving her this money, out of love. And now, I believe her because she has said that in multiple interviews, even before the season aired, that she really did think that these were gifts. Her dad also says, but you were paying for everything. And I believe her because in previous seasons, the girls said Shannon pays for everything. John is a freeloader. And in other interviews, she said that she was paying for everything. So I don't know what the hell this is about, but what I do think it is, John realized that Alexis was getting on this show. They were trying to use Shannon for their storyline, this whole breakup thing for their storyline. And I think that he thought, wouldn't it be great television if I sue her for my money back? And that's why he did it, because she offered him to give him the money back and not go to court. But he wanted to force the court case. And I said, that's because he wanted to blow this thing up and make this bigger for the show. Even Emily said that on E.T., her E.T. interview. She said Shannon offered to just give him the $75,000 and he didn't want to do that. She said, why is that? He didn't want to do that because he wanted to make it bigger. Him and Alexis are thirsty as hell. And my thing is this, Alexis in this episode and past episodes, she has been going hard for John Jansen. The more she goes in for him, the more I believe everything that Shannon was saying, everything Heather was saying, everything Emily was saying about John Jansen. Not only that, believe this. If you don't believe anything else, Alexis, whatever it was that he did to Shannon, he will do that shit to you. Believe it. Right now, you are backing him up. Oh, he's suing her. Give him his $75,000. You know what? Remember that ring he bought you, that trip he took you on, anything else that he pays for you. Will you be sued when the relationship is over? You sit around and you dance a jig, happy about this woman's misery. What's going to happen when that same misery knocks on your damn door? Now, her dad tells her that she needs to fight this. I don't think she should do that. I really don't. She has already said multiple times how much these lawyer fees cost and all these court dates and everything. I wouldn't. I would go down to my local banking establishment. I would get a cashier's check. I would give it to my attorney and have him give it to John's attorney and settle this whole thing. After that, I would block John and Alexis on everything. It would be as if they don't live on the fucking planet, okay? I would also block Tamra in everything. When we have events, if Tamra and Alexis are at those events, it would be as if they were never present. I don't know them. I haven't seen. Listen, I will pull a page from Mariah Carey's book. I don't know them. Every time somebody asks me about them, who? As a matter of fact, a lot of these TV stars, when they have interviews, or they usually ask them, are there any topics that are off limits? Yes. Tamra, Alexis, John Jansen, off limits. Anything else you want to talk about, bring it. I wouldn't have any dealings with any of them and move on with my life and live in peace. So then we go over to Alexis's house and Tamra shows up, not surprised. Listen, it's weird to me listening to Alexis ask why she wasn't invited to Katie's event. And I said, oh shit, another Jackie Goldsnyder. Well, first of all, you are a friend of Shannon. Is a full-fledged, proven housewife. Okay, if I had to pick between the two of you, I wouldn't invite you, girl. And then
Debbie Downer over Lexi? I mean, if you're gonna have a party, who's gonna be more fun, huh? This one's more fun. Happy go lucky Lexi.
I would just like to say, first of all, who the fuck is Lex? And when do we start jiggling the jugs? What the hell is this? I was so embarrassed. Oh my God, I was secondhand embarrassment was stabbing me. Oh, I almost passed out on my couch. I said, what is this? Girl, listen, have you been stranded out in the Sierra Desert? You are thirsty as hell. I have never seen thirst like this. Let me think on it. No, I have not seen thirst like this. You are doing too much. This is embarrassing. And you know what? I really don't appreciate Tamra sitting on this woman's couch, trash talking the dog shit out of Shannon, calling this woman an alcoholic. You are not qualified to diagnose anybody as an alcoholic. As a matter of fact, you might need to take a few meetings. You should probably go see somebody about your binge drinking. I think that's what it's called, but I can't diagnose you as a binge drinker. But, you know, I side-eye you all the time. And I would also like to say, Bravo TV. Bravo editors, where the fuck is the montage of all of Tamra's drunk moments? Pull them out. Okay, because this woman has had a number of occasions when she was sloppy drunk. How many episodes have we seen the next day? She doesn't know what the hell happened or what she even did, and she's got to grovel and apologize. Fake apologies, that is. Come on, nasty woman. It pisses me off to see Tamra talking such shit about Shannon and then get in her confessionals. She was in her confessionals, was it last week's episode or the week before, talking about how much she just loves Shannon. I love her so much, but, you know, I care about her. And no, you don't. No, you don't. Because if you cared about somebody and you really truly believe that Shannon is an alcoholic, you would have stood by her. You would have told her from the jump, the day you saw her after her DUI, you would have sat her down and said, Shannon, what the fuck are you doing? This is not right. Are you serious? Drinking and driving? What the hell? Then you, after you told her off about drinking and driving, then you would have put your arms around that woman and told her how much you love her. And then you would have told her that you think / suspect that she may have a drinking problem and that you think she may benefit from going to rehab. You would do all of this shit off camera without sharing it with anybody else. You would never just sit around and tear this woman down if you really loved her. You don't. You don't. You are a disgusting human being who is only after a check and fame. And Alexis talking that bullshit about how Johnny doesn't hardly drink since she's been with him.
Kiss my entire ass.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Get the hell out of here with that. Girl, we saw John Jansen. We seen him every season that he was on here, and he was lit the fuck up, totally wasted almost every time we saw John Jansen. The man could barely keep his damn eyes open. He looked like he reeked of liquor. Get the hell out of here. The man probably bleeds Grey Goose. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Alexis out of nowhere says, nobody's going to shit talk the man I'm going to marry. What? At the time of filming, they had only been together for a couple of months. And it was just a couple weeks ago at Heather's event that you said this was a promised ring. That it wasn't a promise ring and that you guys were in love but married? I'm sick of them. This is a bunch of bullshit. Now, Shannon and Vicky are on their way to Gina's dinner. And Shannon says, I can't go to Mexico for 10 years because of my DUI. Vicky says, well, maybe you could just go to San Diego and cross the border. I said, Vicky, you are about to have her arrested on federal charges. No, ma'am. Just, go somewhere else. Damn it. Go to Costa Rica. Go to Cuba. Go to Colombia. Go to Spain. Go to France. Do something, ma'am. Don't listen to Vicky. So anyway, Tamara walking into the dinner wearing the same dress as Gina's confessional, which, by the way, can I just say that Gina's latest confessional look is ridiculous. I hate it. I don't know if it's the wig or the dress, but I didn't love it. No, ma'am. Gina says she thinks that she definitely wore the dress better than Tamara, and I would have to agree. She absolutely did. Now, what I thought was a little weird was Heather Dubrow gets there and she wants to practically move around the whole damn table because she doesn't want to sit across from Katie and she doesn't want to sit next to Gina. And I said, are you kidding me? Not the Heather Dubrow, not the Heather Dubrow that has the house down the street from Drake, not Heather Dubrow who doesn't call the paparazzi. Girl, please. The way I would have sat straight across from her and looked her dead in the eye all day, she would have felt like lasers was burning down on her beautiful dress. I would have set that damn dress ablaze with my laser stare. Ain't no way I'm hiding or running. No, ma'am. Not on my show. That's how Vicky says it. My show. Hell no. So as soon as Tamara sits down, she goes up to Katie and she says, oh my gosh, I'm still so confused about the paparazzi stuff. I said, really? Producing again, are we, ma'am? She definitely had her producer's hat on. And I said, this is such a stupid storyline. It makes zero sense. Go to hell on from here. Katie had to give her the whole, well, Gina didn't stand by me and blah, blah, blah. Girl, shut up. You're the one who lined up the shot and decided to take it. No, ma'am, it missed. It's more like a Nerf gun. It makes no sense. So Alexis gets there. I said, oh shit, she was invited. She gets there and the first thing she says to Katie was, so I heard you had a golf event. How was I left out? You were left out because she doesn't know you. And the way you behave, I don't think she wants to know you. This is ridiculous. You are not a full-fledged housewife. And in that moment, she was earning her, orange. No, ma'am, she earned that. Go on some damn where. So Tamara makes this comment about Shannon brought Vicky. She's not surprised because she needs backup. I said, isn't that why you befriended Alexis at BravoCon and then convinced her and the rest of the people at Bravo to bring her onto the show to harass Shannon because you needed backup? Yeah, that's what I thought. Shut the hell on up, woman. And then Alexis making that comment, welcome to her world, to Vicky. I said, ma'am, what? Are you kidding me? Vicky had a hand in creating the Housewives. She was the #1 housewife from the #1 housewife franchise. She was the OG for 14 seasons. You lasted 1 or 2 seasons and now you're back as a friend of. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Shut all the way the fuck up until you reach the top of Shut Fuck Mountain where there are no more fuck-ups to shut.
I really just don't like Alexis. I really just don't. But this right here.
Oh, yeah, an alcoholic should drink. Yeah.
She can have alcohol. She just can't get it behind a wheel.
Do you truly believe she doesn't have a drinking problem?
You've been on this path for 10 years with me.
Everybody has.
Who made you the judge and jury of what my sentence is? Because let me tell you something. Every freaking day that I wake up, I think about what happened.
Is that after you have a drink?
You know what? Honestly, I think she's changed. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You can get mad at me, but I do.
I'm not mad at you. I hope so.
I do think so.
I think she's doing a good job
She
working
loves
on
you now.
herself.
But I don't think this is the way to get what you're looking for.
It's not for Tamara to decide if Shannon is an alcoholic. It is not for Tamara to berate her and make her feel worse than she already feels. You know, she's supposed to be her friend.
But you know what, Tamara? Let's look at your drinking. You went dead weight at Nobu. You've had to have people sit in a car with you and drive home.
There's a big difference between drinking and having a good time and being an alcoholic. She went to a therapy to figure out why she dates the bad guys.
This has to stop. I've had 2 conversations with you on the telephone.
You were drunk every time.
You need to stop because
I need to stop what? Uncovering your bullshit. How you had to pay for everything for John.
At the beginning,
but you
I
owe
did.
him $70,000?
Do you want receipts? Because I'll pull it up. Liar face is going to be called out.
She's liar, space on fire.
One is the facelift, and the other one is just because Shannon needed money, and he was generous enough to give her the money.
I didn't know she had a facelift.
She looks great.
She looks great.
I personally, and maybe you don't agree, and that's okay, maybe taking it down so that perhaps you become friends with Shannon.
Here's all I know. I want to get to know her and like her for her.
You can't say that and bring receipts at the same time.
Yes, I can. You can. If you're gonna lie about my guy, if you're gonna lie about my guy, guess what? I have more receipts and they'll come also. I'm leaving. I love you.
You can't say you want to
Thank you.
be friends with someone and work something out and bring receipts at the same time. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so there was so much to be appalled about. Tamara speaking to Shannon that way and smiling at the same time. First of all, Tamara looked and sounded drunk. She's sitting here drinking. Do I think if I was Shannon going into this dinner knowing that Alexis is here, Tamara is here, and there are other ladies that are on the fence, they haven't really been there for her or been supportive, I think that I would have definitely went into this night drinking soda water, so that after I have unleashed a verbal assault from hell, I'll remember that shit the next day. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be clear about everything that I'm about to pull out of my fucking arsenal on Tamara's ass. I did not love that the only people that stood up for Shannon was Gina and Emily. The rest of the ladies kind of sat back like, what? Didn't say shit. Nobody stood up for this woman, and I thought that was disgusting. Alexis was giggling and laughing like a schoolgirl. Vicky was trying to defend Shannon. She says, you know, Shannon is not an alcoholic. She can order a drink if she wants to. It's clear to me that Tamara and Alexis are absolutely obsessed with Shannon and using Shannon for storyline purposes. It's also very clear that it's more important for Tamara to keep her orange than it is to show any loyalty or friendship. This just shows why so many people don't like Tamara. Instead of coming to Shannon as a friend or out of someone who is just simply concerned, she decided to weaponize this against her. This lady is going through so many changes and turns in life crisis, and she uses this as a moment, thinking that this is going to make her an iconic housewife. It's gross, and I don't love it. I think that what Tamara did was just an incredibly low blow. She was doing everything she could just to humiliate Shannon. And I appreciate Gina stepping in, because Gina had a DUI and she knows the hell that you go through with this. And why would you kick this woman when she's down? Do I think that Shannon should drink at all? No, but it's Shannon's choice. And you can see that she's at least cut back. She's controlling her drinking. And I just think that Tamara is horrible. Tamara has never been a good friend to any of these ladies, and I don't understand why none of them have just sat back and looked. Nobody has ever truly held her accountable. Every season she tears down one of the ladies that she claims she cares about. And then at the reunion, she does this fake cry. They make up, and then she comes in, picks another friend, and goes after them later. I guarantee you before the end of this season, she will rip Jen to shreds. She will always find a friend to use for storyline purposes and then try to rebuild the friendship later. And they always give her another chance. Shannon, I seen her on an interview, and she said that she will never be friends with Tamara again. I hope that is true. I hope that all these ladies have finally seen who this woman really is. And I really hate that they did that flashback showing Shannon's drunk moments. Where was Tamara's drunk moments? And Alexis, please stop embarrassing yourself down to the streets about Johnny Jansen. And then the whole screenshots. I got screenshots. What normal dude does that? Let me give my new girlfriend these screenshots of these wire transfers I sent to my ex-girlfriend so she can humiliate this woman who is already going through hell. It shows you what a little bitch John Jansen is. And then she's going to try to give that story to Heather. Well, I'd like to be friends. And Emily, thank you for standing up to her.
Bullshit?
No, you don't. You don't come in here talking shit to this woman and making fun of this woman, smiling and laughing while Tamara's harassing this lady, pulling out your damn receipts and then saying you want to be friends. Get the hell out of here. Alexis ran the hell out of there like Emily was running after her to whoop her ass, didn't she? I felt so bad for Shannon because the only person that came to check on her was Jen, and then she ran off crying, and I said, no, don't do it. You cannot run. I would not run. Tamara would never see me run. I just would not. That's giving her the satisfaction that she was trying to get. Tamara's entire time on this show, pretty much. Well, not the whole time, but a lot of time that she's spent on this show has been on the backs of somebody else's suffering. I think that it was really nice to see Jen and Katie talk about how nice Shannon looks. You know, Jen said she didn't know that Shannon had a facelift. I appreciate Emily and Gina standing up for Shannon. Heather even tried to talk a little sense into Alexis. She wasn't listening. Heather and Emily talking about Shannon looking better and feeling better and seeming to be healthier, even though they both thought that she should have possibly went to rehab. You know, Vicky did her best to try to calm everybody down, to let everyone know that they should be caring about each other a little more. I thought that was really nice. I thought that her message was good. It was just the wrong messenger. Maybe not, you know, coming from Vicky. I don't know, you guys. This was a long video. Get down in the comments. What did you think about the episode? And until next time, bye.